I've been getting a lot of requests lately to do a wig tutorial on how I like to lay my lace front wigs. If you can't tell, I'm wearing a human hair lace front wig right now, and I would say I've gotten pretty good at how to lay them down and make them look pretty seamless. I wear a wig almost every single day, and just a disclaimer, I'm not the best at doing this. You know, I definitely learned from other people who are on YouTube. This is also a really good opportunity to announce that I am officially working with Splat again. This is a sponsored video with Splat. I've been working with Splat hair color for years. I mean, since the very beginning of my modeling career. I've been in a commercial with them. I'm on the box right now. I'm actually on 2 boxes. I'm in most of their magazine ads, including with People, Cosmo, 17 magazine, and things like that. I've worked very, very closely with this company for a long time, and it's really cool every time that I swing back around and get to work with them again, because I really do like them. I like the people that I work with at the company. I do wear the colors. This is actually Splat Natural Teal. They came out with a whole new natural line. It's called Splat Naturals. So yeah, anyway, all of that is to say this is a sponsored video with Splat. All their stuff is going to be down below. You can go to splathaircolor.com, or you can find them at Walmart, at CVS, pretty much anywhere. So I'll go over how I put my wig on, how I take it off, how I wash it, how I care for it, and just kind of little different tips and tricks that I've learned. So I hope you enjoy this video. So now we can talk about washing your wig, which is something you want to do at least maybe 3 times a month if you wear it as much as I do. This is a pretty expensive wig that I invested in, so it's important to me to take care of it. So the best way to wash it is fill up the sink with some lukewarm water, get some of your favorite shampoo, and you're just kind of swishing it around into that water. The water's going to be shallow as well. You don't need to completely submerge it. So you just need a little water, a little shampoo. I do this just a couple times to get everything out there, whether it's hairspray, product, grease, dirt, whatever it is. You don't need to scrub. You don't need to massage it. Like, lace front wigs, especially something like this, is a work of art, so you really need to treat it really delicately. Right here I'm massaging out some of the makeup and the gel that's in the front of the wig, because that's where it's going to collect the most product. The other thing you can do is you can get a little toothbrush and some alcohol and go on the inside and really lightly scrub off any sort of makeup or gel that's stuck on there. Then I'll do the same thing with conditioner, and I'll probably pop on a really nice mask to kind of help bring it back to life, because since I style this wig so much, it takes a beating and it needs a lot of moisture. Like, it's a thirsty wig. So yeah, you do that a couple times, and usually, like, if I'm washing my wig, I'll leave a really nice hair mask on it for maybe an hour while it's out of the sink, and then you just kind of hang it up by the band and you let it dry. The other thing that I do while I wash my wig is I'll freshen up the dye job. So this is easiest to do with liquid dyes that don't have too much conditioner in there. So it's the same process where you fill it up with lukewarm water. I have Splat Naturals. This is the teal color here. This is the one that I've been using for the past couple months. Put a little dollop in there, and then you get a whisk and you just whisk it down all the way until everything's just a water consistency. You'll notice that some dyes have a little bit of a harder time breaking down, so you need to spend a little bit more time whisking it. You don't want to put your hair in when there's dollops of dye still in there, because it will saturate the wig in like little spots. So take your time and kind of like breaking down the dye, and then all you have to do is just pop your wig in there, and it's literally the fastest dye job you will ever do. It takes 2 minutes. I really do like Splat for this, just because their consistency is already very creamy. It's very watery, so it's easy to break down. And like, look how fast this is. I just dyed an entire 200% density lace wig in literally less than 2 minutes. It's so easy. It's so reliable. You can add a little conditioner in there in case you want to kind of dull it down just a little bit or get a little bit of moisture in there. So the first thing you want to do is put a little oil through your hair. I'm using just argan oil. I figured as long as your hair is going to be underneath the wig cap, you might as well put something healthy on your hair. So I'm just using argan oil, and then splitting my hair down the sides. And then just doing a very simple French braid, just to kind of keep everything clean and tight and in order. You don't want to just shove your hair into the wig cap, because it can get caught in the glue. Wig cap have to be one of the solid kind of mesh nylon kind. You don't want the netted kind, like the fishnet kind. That's not going to blend well. I am doubling up, so I'm using 2 different wig caps, mainly because my hair is so bright that sometimes you can see it through the wig cap. So for just opacity, I'll usually use 2, maybe 3. And then of course you want a wig cap that matches your skin tone. If you can't get it exactly, you can always put foundation on it. And then you just put the wig on and kind of adjust it where you want it to sit. There's no glue on it at this point. Once you have it exactly where you want it, that's when you take the Got2b gel and you just kind of put it along the edges of your hairline. So I put the wig cap basically right where my hairline ends, but I do have a little bit of a widow's peak. So I'm just slathering that on there. I'm blow drying it down to help it dry and get tacky. And then you lift it and you pull it down exactly where you want it, and make sure like all the little baby hairs are out before you start setting it down. I'm using the rat tail comb and then just the hair dryer to kind of set it in place. This is also a T3 hair dryer, in case you're wondering. I don't think it really matters what hair dryer you're using. But yeah, I'm just trying to get all those little baby hairs to lay flat, so I'm kind of pulling them down with the rat tail comb and trying to get it to dry down. You don't want to like put too much pressure using the rat tail comb because the wig is on top of my foundation layer. If you scratch too hard, you're going to create a lot of texture and pick up makeup, and then it just looks really ugly. Anyway, so I start in the middle and then I do the sides a little bit later. I put a little bit extra near my ears just because if the wig is going to lift, that's where it's going to lift. Just keep in mind that this gel is really super OP, so you can use a lot of it, but when you take your wig off at the end of the day, don't rip it off. You know, you just need a little bit of water to kind of break down that solution. So at this point the gel is drying down, and you don't necessarily want to touch it with your fingers because it can turn it sort of like a white pasty color. If you're noticing texture or if you're having a hard time getting it to really lay flat, you can always take a washcloth and then kind of press it down. Try to avoid using your fingers. However, I have been known to kind of wet my finger and then go over it. So this is a toothbrush that I have to kind of shape my baby hairs and just kind of lay them flat. I'll put just a tiny light coat of hairspray on there and just kind of shape them around where I want them. The wig is a little bit like, it has a little bit of static, so you can see the baby hairs are kind of going everywhere. So the key to getting your wig to look really realistic is to kind of tame those baby hairs and try to pull them in sort of like a natural direction of what they would really look like if it was really your hair. Then taking a little bit of hairspray onto my fingertips and trying to kind of shape, you know, the ends because they can get a little dry. To finish things off, I usually like to use a little teeny tiny foundation right on the lace in case it's not blending correctly, and then I'll do my concealer just so I know that my skin is matching up with the lace really well. You can also contour if you need to as well. Sometimes it can be hard. But then after that, you're going to do some translucent setting powder because it will get a little shiny there because you do have products of foundation and you have the glue on there. So pressing it down with your fingers and then kind of using a translucent setting powder just to pop it in place and then get rid of that shine really helps it blend a lot better. So taking care while you're styling your wig is also important too. Like when you're using heat tools, you see I'm not going directly up to the lace. I mean, you don't want to do that with your normal scalp anyway, but just keep in mind that when you're using heat products, even if you're using blow dryers, the lace is very delicate, so you want to be careful and use medium heat or at least stay away from the scalp if you can. Finally, to take your wig off at the end of the night, you'll see here I've been wearing this wig for about 8 hours this day, so that Got2b glue is very strong, but all you need is water. So I have some rose water here in a spray bottle, and I'm just spraying it down on the seams of the lace where the glue is, and I'll give it a couple minutes to kind of break up the product before I start lifting. Do not just try to rip it off your head. You will rip your hairs out of your scalp. So I have a little spatula here. This is a makeup spatula, and I'm just kind of going in there very delicately and just kind of lifting up the seams of the lace. Again, you don't rush this. You really need to take your time here, and it's really not a lot of effort. It just takes just a little bit of patience. So yeah, do not rip the wig off. Even don't think you can peel it off. Don't be messing with that got-to-be stuff, because all you need is water and it comes right off. Nobody needs to rip their hair out of their scalp. And that's your boy's advice of wigs.